You are listening to Within Tolerance, a podcast for machinists by a machinist. I'm your host, Dylan Jackson of Proteum Machining. And this week, not only do I have Zap in person, but this is the first in-person video one.
Yeah.
A little bizarre.
It is bizarre.
It's cool. Don't get me wrong.
You were just looking at the camera and I was like, oh, what's happening? But well, I guess you should address the audience or whatever.
I'm trying, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We got some multicam stuff going on.
Yeah.
See if it works. Yeah. All the cameras all the time.
Yeah, you can see yourself.
Uh-huh. Yeah, which is nice. There's also delay on that, which is interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Put my pants over.
Give me the update since the last time you were on. I don't remember where you were in the world last time.
I do, because I was, it's like, man, the last couple I haven't really gone back and checked. So this one I went back and checked, and I was in Maryland.
Okay.
It was with Justin, and we had just gotten back from Send Cut Send.
Right.
So he was in Cleveland, I was in Maryland. And I've done a decent amount since then, but mostly like I was in Maryland for 2 weeks, and then I went from Maryland back to Boise for like a second. Then I went to, oh man, I've been kind of all over the place. It feels like I was in Maryland. Like
I didn't do anything.
I feel like I was in Maryland like much longer ago, but it was Maryland. Then I went back to Boise for a second, then flew to Minneapolis to see Doug and Joel, and then drove over to Madison to see Easton, and then I drove to Chicago to see Kenny, and there's a couple others like Kenny, Cam, Kurt, Dave, some of the the Impractical guys.
Right.
And Kenny got married or whatever, or remarried.
Right. Yeah. Congrats, Kenny.
Yeah. Yeah. Congrats, Kenny.
She said yes again.
Dude, it'd been funny. I'm actually good this time.
Right.
Yeah. JK, LOL. I just wanted to embarrass you in public.
Oh man.
And then from there I came here.
And you've been here all week?
And I've been here all week.
Okay.
In the mine. So like a lot of movement, not like a lot of stuff, like when I was in Maryland, I was just continuing with LF stuff, LF and Inventor Cam. LF fucking rips, dude. It's so awesome. But it's like, they're not busy. Like they,
right. You were making soft jaws on
making
LF.
soft jaws. But I mean, ran all night.
It
was, yeah, it's very funny.
I hope so.
To make soft jaws in that machine with like the NX, the Fraser NX face finisher, 2RA off the machine for like no reason,
right? Just
because it's very fun, and I mean that's pretty much all we did there. Just kind of fuck around on that thing, try to like improve the process, get one of their programmers up to speed. The other programmer is like very obstinate, doesn't want to do it. Basically, like worked himself out of being on that machine.
Yeah,
actually, I kind of gave up.
He sounds like the worst.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah,
for sure. Then seeing Doug, like after that, like Boise update, still no fucking power in the shop. Other things happening that I'm not going to talk about yet.
Right.
Because I haven't like really figured stuff out, but not good things either.
Yeah. Overall, just kind of a bad situation.
Overall bad situation.
Yeah.
Very fucking annoying situation. But so I was just in Boise for like a couple days and hung out, like got to sleep in my own bed. That was cool. Made cinnamon rolls. I've been like on a big cinnamon roll kick.
Right. You said somebody asked you about those too?
Yeah, John asked me about the cinnamon rolls. I just like making cinnamon rolls.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. And I like to make them from scratch. And then the last time I was in Boise, I found Texas Roadhouse sells their cinnamon honey butter or whatever.
Oh.
So you can buy that. So like what I've been doing is replacing the instances of butter with that butter.
Honey cinnamon butter.
Yeah. So like in the dough, in the filling, in the frosting, Texas Roadhouse honey cinnamon butter. And beautiful. It's so good.
That sounds pretty amazing.
It is
Not gonna
really,
lie.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then seeing Doug and Joel, that was cool. I got fucked up on my flights to Minneapolis. So I was supposed to get in there at like 11, but I missed being able to drop my bag by like 2 minutes. And so then they're like, well, we'll rebook you in like 5 hours. And I was like,
awesome.
I was like, what? Like, I can't do anything? And she's like, no. Like, sick. Sick.
You're like, it's 2 minutes late. You can't take my bag.
And they're like, nope, sorry. All right.
That's when you're like, oh, actually, this is my carry-on. And then they hit you with, oh, it's too big, so we're going to have to check it. And you're like, cool.
No, they wouldn't do that either. I
Really?
tried. Yep. They're like, nope, we're not going to do it. Okay. Cool.
Assholes.
Yeah. I was like, whatever. So I just went home, went back to sleep for a little bit. Because I was like 4:30 in the morning.
Oh.
Or 5 in the morning or something like that. It was really early. So I was like, fuck, this sucks. Yeah, so kind of fucked the plans up for Minneapolis. Joel and I were gonna go like visit some people, but that just didn't happen. So we, what is it? We just hung out. Like,
sweet.
Basically, I went from the airport, picked up a rental car, drove to Frasier, went and saw that. Turns out, like, one of their apps guys, like I've known, or I haven't like known it. We haven't like kept up, but I met him like 8 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. When Methods was selling Tornos, he was like their best apps guy. And
small world as usual.
Right. And so it's like, yeah, it's Miguel. And I was like, oh shit, I know you. Like, what the hell? That's crazy. And yeah, I mean, it's like usual. It's small place. They have the Kern there. That's it.
I just forgot about that. Yeah. They got rid of the Hermla and put the Kern in there. Yeah.
Right. Well, they didn't get rid of the Hermla.
Well, they just cycled it out.
Yeah. So they're getting a C42.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Yeah.
Then hung out with Doug. We played golf in his garage. He has a golf simulator in his garage, which is sick. And awesome. I fucking stomped his ass.
I'm sure he loved that.
Yeah. I was like, simulators are fun because like you don't really have the adverse effect of like terrain, So I shot a 78.
Amazing.
Yeah, on like a very difficult course, like a course I played in real life and like blew my knee out on. That was the last time I golfed, was playing on that course.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
My knee was so fucking swollen. It was huge. But eagled the last hole. And then I was like, I'm out. I'm done. Yeah, that was fun. Then hung out with Easton for like a day. We had cheese curds 3 times that day.
Yeah, he submitted the question, how much do you like Dottie's cheese curds and Bubbler?
So Bubbler is a Wisconsin, like, it's like a sparkling water energy drink type of thing. It's got 69 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Oh, okay.
You can find it at Walmart here, or at least like in Gilbert. I found it at the Gilbert Walmart.
Okay.
Like, oh shit. And Bubbler's tasty. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it or whatever. It like has multiple flavors, the lemon lime and the orange. Orange kind of has like an orange sickle flavor to it,
All right, nice.
And it is like just enough caffeine that you can like kind of crush them like all day and not get like out of control, like fucking hyped up, And Dottie's cheese curds were awesome. We went like levels. So like started with Culver's, and I say this was my choice. This was my decision. So we went to Culver's. I got cheese curds there, and then those are good. And then we went and got ice cream after dinner, and they had cheese curds there because it's Wisconsin, obviously.
Yeah.
So got cheese
what
curds
pairs
there.
better with ice cream than cheese curds?
Yeah. It's the hot and cold, the sweet and salty.
Of course.
It just works. And then they're like, if you're gonna do this, we got to get real cheese curds. So we went to this place called Dottie's, and those were really good. And of course, Easton's girlfriend's friend in Wisconsin has a like Instagram dedicated to rating cheese curds in Wisconsin.
No shit.
So that's how we landed on Dottie's, because it's like, 9 out of 10, like sick, let's go.
She said it's good. It's got to be good.
Yeah, exactly. It was and they were really fucking good. It's like, that's next level.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Then let's see. In the morning, I made biscuits and gravy. That was fun. But it was like lactose free and gluten free. They were still pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, because Ashlyn has dietary restrictions. So that was like, that worked out fine. And then drove to Chicago and we did the wedding. Or well, I didn't do the wedding, but like I was there.
Right. So yeah, JT from the Patreon asked, how was your trips to Chicago?
That was fun.
Yep.
Yeah, it was cool. Kenny had a fucking Uncrustable cake.
Amazing.
It was really good too. It's very, very good. And it was just neat to like hang out with some like, it's funny to like go to a wedding to like hang out with other Insta machinists.
Right. Other machinists.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, like just having it was a good time. I like being around drunk people. Being sober is very funny.
That is really funny. Did you do anything else while you were in Chicago, or was it just went for the wedding and pop out?
Yeah, that was it. And then I drove to Ohio on Sunday to like hang out with another buddy, like that's a non-machinist buddy. And then
you have those?
I know, it's crazy. And then drove back, and that was it. Like,
sick.
And then flew to Phoenix, and then
and have just been sweating yourself to
sweating
death
my
since
fucking
then.
dick off, dude.
Yeah.
It's because I've been in the mine, or well, it's not in the mine.
Right.
It's in the rod plant,
Which is worse.
It is, yeah, yes, worse.
Yeah.
Because it's where they call it the rod plant because they melt copper and turn it into fucking copper rod in that facility. So it's not climate controlled because what are you going to do? They melt copper. The copper's melting at like, I think it says like 1882 degrees. So it's fucking crazy hot. You have to wear long sleeves and a hard hat and pants, and like safety equipment. Like,
which we got so many comments on, by the way.
Oh, really?
Like I posted for questions in your like get up, and the one that I will read is from Becca.
Yeah.
She was like, this entire look looking like a fucking 80s porn star glasses.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, those are the best fucking safety glasses that
they're good.
I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only from the style standpoint, but they also just like functionally work very well. They don't fog up like at all.
Well, and the lenses are so big too. Like you don't get the frame in your field of view, which is really nice.
Yeah. They're like $13 on Amazon. They're super cheap. Highly recommend them. You look cool wearing them.
McMaster sells them too. I know I had prescription versions of them from Zenny Optical as well.
Yeah, they're great. Like I bought them as a fucking joke.
Right.
And I'm like, and then I have like 4 pairs. Like just like in different places. You know?
Right.
Because they're awesome, but dude, it's so hot in there. It's 104 degrees inside the building. The machine is like warm to the touch, you know, and the coolant's hot. Everything's hot. Like everything's hot.
And the coolant's not only hot, but disgusting.
It's disgusting. Yes. So, and part of the reason that it's disgusting is because it's hot. There's 2 reasons. There's like is improperly mixed, which was like he was like, oh, this is how I mix it, and it's always fine, and it's not always fine.
Does he just dump the concentrate into it or something?
Yeah. So he puts water, and then he dumps the concentrate in, and then he just runs the pumps. So that wasn't fucking flying. And they have 2 machines. They have a clapped out like ST40, like 2013 ST40, and a pretty decent condition SC300 from like 2005 or something like that.
Really?
It's really old. It's like the same generation as Easton's SC250. And it's like they're in surprisingly decent condition given the environment that they're in, because it's like my laptop gets disgusting. Like I'll open if I don't have to open it, like I'm not opening it,
right?
Because it's just like what is on it?
I'm surprised that your laptop doesn't shut down due to like thermals.
It gets hot so fast.
Yeah.
And that's the other reason is like I don't want it out here. The fucking power brick gets so hot. Everything is hot. It's hot so fast.
Ugh.
But yeah, the coolant, the Nakamura has a removable chip conveyor and coolant fucking tank. So we can remove it. Because of like what they're doing, like we can just kind of dump it out like they have like a whole like waste facility thing. So like, we can like literally
sick.
just like dump it. They have like a grate on the ground that's huge, and we just like dump the fucking coolant into there. Which is awesome. It makes it very easy. And then like just like take a pressure washer and like blow it out. But the Nakamura had like a thick ass layer of like sludge on the bottom, which is like is coolant, like unemulsified coolant, because same thing, he just was like dumping it in.
Right.
And they don't run the machine every day. All those machines do is repair work. It's just repair work. And then they like cut rollers that create the rod and different sizes, and when it's done, they just throw them away. And that's it. So like he'll go like weeks without running the machine, either of them. So you have unmixed coolant that already had like was already disgusting to begin with, and it's hot as fuck.
It's 100 degrees every day of the year.
Yeah, it's like asking. It's like if you asked yourself what is the most ideal environment to like grow shit in my coolant, that's it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like, all right, well, we got to do something about this. I'm trying to get them to buy an EcoVac, because I got to go back in September.
You're like, make sure you have this by the time I'm here next.
And so that's like one thing. I bought new coolant and cleaner for them, but we can't run it yet because they have to do what they call like an MOC, mode of change. So they have to like, everybody has to like sign off on the MSDS, because, you know, corporate.
Yep.
And so they're like, well, I was like, oh, so like we'll know this week. And he's like, no, it usually takes like a month. And it's like, all right,
cool.
So like we bought him a mixer, a refractometer, and coalescers to put on the machine to give it like a fighting chance,
right,
of like not breaking down and like dying before September, essentially.
Yeah.
And we'll fucking see. I don't know. I mean, the coalescer was doing its job, but who knows? I don't know.
Just keeping it moving should help quite a bit.
Right.
But yeah.
And it being properly mixed, because the guy was like, oh, the coolant's never looked like this. Like, yeah. It took so fucking long, like a whole day to drain, to like really get all like, and we didn't even get it all, but like, cause it's like impossible. Cause in the Haas, the coolant tank is part of the casting. So like, there's just shit, you can't get to it.
Right.
Like we just kept, this is like so bad. But because of, we can just like dump the coolant into like the grate on the ground. We were just like running water like for like 8 hours, like filling it up and like sucking it out and filling it up and sucking it out to like try and get all this stuff moving. So it was like legitimately 8 hours of just just hold like, yeah, it's looking better, you know? And then it would get really cloudy all of a sudden, because like big clumps of coolant would like start coming up, and it's like we just got it to a point of it's like I can see the bottom, so that's probably good enough. It's like
better than it's been since it's been installed, right? Probably.
Yeah, it's like fuck it, let's just fire it up. And like I only do this for these guys because like, I mean, really there's no value to me doing this for anybody else of like PMing their machines. It's just that nobody will do it for them. Because there's zero chance of them buying another machine, you know, like they've had the Nakamura forever. The only reason they have the Haas is because like another facility across the country like shut down or something, and so they brought it over, and they just like, so no, like Ellison Machinery, not Technologies, doesn't want to touch it, and Methods doesn't want to touch it because it's so far out of town. You have guys drive like 2 hours, you know, to like be in the most disgusting environment possible for like no money. And I guess like for whatever reason, I don't really know why, like, because I didn't sign this kind of deal, but like apparently like the guarantees they wanted on the machine operation from Ellison or Methods was like out of control. Like they wanted them like to like guarantee uptime and all this other bullshit, and like and like take a lot of responsibility for things. And I was never presented with that. But also I came in initially to program, to do programming. So, and they're like, hey, can you do this? And it's like, sure. And they pay a lot of money for it. So I was like, might as well.
Yeah.
And they're like it's slow, like what I would say, like slow money, because it's like net 45, but it's like they're so dialed. They just have like a lot of automated systems where like I submit the invoice and they approve it, and like day 45 on the fucking dot, I'm getting that money. So it's like sick, cool.
That's what matters. Yeah.
It's like fine. And so like there's been times where I haven't been like as Johnny on the spot with them because it's so slow, you know, and they are so far out of town. Like it's like, fuck, when I'm doing that, there's like nothing else I can do because it's like so intense.
Yeah.
For like days and days and days.
And you got stuck on the highway going out there this time?
Yeah, because like the main stretch of road, the last little bit from Superior to Globe, which I don't know, nobody cares about on the 60.
Right.
They're like making a new bridge or something. And so there's 3 sections where it goes down to 1 lane. So you have to stop. And then Tuesday.
Oh, 1 lane for each. Both
period.
ways.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how you get stuck, is like you're going to stop.
Right.
Like there's just simple as, you know. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they just shut it down completely from 9 to 2.
Jeez.
So like yesterday when I got there to like do the last little bit, like mechanical checks or whatever, and I was done at like 10. So I had to drive way north and then drop down.
Oh man.
So I was like, all right, cool. So like to get to like Tempe or like North Phoenix, took like 2 hours.
Right.
Which should take like an hour and a half roughly. So that sucked. Ugh. But it was like, whatever. At least I'm in my sister's car, has air conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the truck. Thank God.
Which the truck? I don't know.
Apparently has AC.
Apparently has AC. It just didn't have the belt. Which I was like, oh, that's odd. Because I was under the impression it didn't. I guess I just never really like looked that hard. I don't know. I'm like trying to like think of when I was like really fucking with it was like 7 years ago.
Right.
You know, so I was like, I was not even on my mind. And when I was like, I wonder what it would cost to like put it in and blah, blah, blah. I was like thinking about like buying stuff for it before I got down here. I was like, I'll just wait because I'm pretty sure I saw the condenser there. So like, I'll see what else it has. And I look and I'm like, wait, this has been here the whole time? It just needs a belt, $13 belt.
Do you think that maybe the compressor's bad or something? That's why you took the belt off?
I have no idea. So I was like, well, I'll get the belt. I'll put it on there. Or well, fucking Trevor, my sister's fiance, he'll put it on there. And then we'll see. Compressor's like $300 or whatever. So
sick.
Yeah. It just passed emissions this morning. So that's good. So now I can get it like registered for real. That's another one. Checked off.
Yeah, you don't need any more vehicles in impound. So yeah. I'm very glad.
Yeah. We keep it in my sister's garage at least, so they can't come get it.
Yeah. And the van was still there last time.
Well,
Michael checked on it, right?
Yes. Yeah. Michael went and checked on it on
like Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. Monday or Tuesday. And it was still there.
Okay.
It's fucking registered. It's got temporary registration because they ship the plates or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the parking permit, I put like halfway up the fucking windshield because it's like, here it is. I still have this stupid ass patch, like, because they tagged it, you know? So, like, I tried to pull it off and there's still like a white sticky part. So I wrote on that, like, this vehicle's not abandoned, don't tow. And then I have a piece of cardboard that's like this big or whatever. That also says this vehicle's not abandoned, do not tow.
Right.
So, like, maybe by the power of Grayskull, it'll still be there on Sunday when I get back.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, just like, but that brings us to now. I mean, that's like physical updates. Other updates would be like in the last couple of weeks, I've like really revamped our like whole retainer model, you know, and had like really positive outcomes with that. Like we've had quite a few customers sign up for I mean, we just did it in like blocks of hours, and kind of happened on one of our customers. We did like a fuckload of programming for in April, and like 120 hours of programming in April. And he's like, I don't want to pay $200 an hour. And I was like, okay.
Retainer.
Yeah. And like he like was on there, the old retainer version. And I was like, okay, well, so then here's what we'll do. It's like, I'll drop it down to 170. If you buy 100 hours right now, because he's like, we have more to do. And he's like, okay. He took fucking 30 days to pay that. But it was easy because it's like, we just stopped doing work,
right.
You know? Like he gave us parts to do, and like Doug did a little bit of work, but it was like, but for the most part, like we just didn't do any work in May because he didn't pay. And then he paid, and then we just like, Doug's been fucking knocking their programs out.
Sick.
But so that like caused us to like revamp a lot of things and make it a lot clearer. Especially because we had other guys being like, well, I want to pay you, but I want to pay this way or that way or whatever. And it's like, fuck, dude. So now there's like the tiers of hours. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The tiers of hours, everything comes out of that. Travel comes out of that. Materials comes out of that. Everything comes out of that. Which has had like some really interesting things that I like hadn't really considered before, with like they'll pay if we do all the work, but if they get hit with the bill on the back end for like 20 grand, they're very slow to pay, you know? Whereas if they pay like say 17,000 up front, they're like they're much more deliberate with how they use our time.
Right.
And they're like one of the first customers, like our new customer that's like just outside of Pittsburgh. The first thing we did was do on-site shit for them. They signed I showed up and did stuff, and they signed it when I showed up, right? And paid like the next day, which
Sick.
was cool. And they got 50 hours, and they were like, like they were like really considering how they like, do we need you to come on site? We don't want to like waste our hours on that or
right.
whatever. And it's like,
good.
Sick.
Yeah.
It's like sick. So like it makes them think a lot more about like, oh, we need you here right fucking now kind of thing, which is awesome. So like, that's cool. And then I had a very interesting situation like arise recently where Makino reached out, and they're like, we have a potential project that we can't tell you who it's for or what it is, but can the customer reach out to you? It's like, yeah, like sure. And so I just sent him like a generic, like it just said the Makino customer proposal or whatever. And it was the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing I give to everybody.
It's just a retainer. Yeah.
And it's like, here it is. And so like the cool thing there was like the customer came into the conversation knowing about what it would cost. Right. He's like, for us, he's like, we think this is a 100-hour project, and like, you'll tell us if it is or if it isn't. But like, he already knows that's going to be at least $17,000 project before we've even had a conversation. So like, and so we're talking with that mutual understanding of like cost,
which is awesome.
It's huge.
I mean, it sounds like in general, it's just going to waste so much less of your time.
Right. Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. Which like, I mean, the whole thing, which I've been hearing a lot like recently, is just like friction. There's way less friction to the entire process, and it clears everything up. And so what it also has caused us to do is, like I showed you a little bit of it today, is like revamp how we're doing things in Asana.
Yeah.
So like,
that looks sick.
Yeah. It's going to work out way better. Cause like, I was talking to Justin about this and like how I was doing it. And he's like, he's like, congratulations. You just, I forget what he said, like specifically, but he's like, you just figured out multi-tenant architecture. I was like, what is that? And so I like look it up, and it's like, oh yes, that's exactly what I want, which is different teams or different like spaces or whatever for customers. And inside of those things are exactly the same.
Right.
And so like what we were doing before is like a much more like tailored experience, you know, for like so Elsner, for instance, is like, we have a fuckload of projects with them because we were just doing like oh, this project or that project or this project. And like, it was like very much like how they wanted to do things, which is fine. Like it was working for them, but
Right.
it was,
but it just means you're reinventing the wheel every
single
Yeah.
time. And so now like we can still do it just inside of a more like, and just inside of this framework where we use like our contract programming project, and like inside of that we can make it whatever they want, but like it's still going to be inside of that project, which then allows us to like use the portfolios inside of Asana so that every customer, because all the projects and all the teams have the same shit, now the programming thing will have all the same programs, like all the same projects that are basically all the same. And like it allows us to like just look at things and go over shit very quickly. And so that's pretty exciting.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And then the other aspect of that is QuickBooks has a mechanism for this built into it, where you can, because all the other nice thing about this is we're taking the money up front, 100% up front.
Right.
And so QuickBooks has a mechanism for this where they, you can take the money like and invoice it. You set it as like the money goes into a liability account. So which is classified as unearned revenue.
Right.
So instead of income, and then as you create and you can have that attached to a project because QuickBooks has projects. So like we use QuickBooks Time to like track our time that we use for the customer. And that's assigned to the project. We create like invoices weekly, which gives the customer like $0 invoices. So it's like, this is what we did this week.
And then QuickBooks moves the money.
And QuickBooks moves the money to earned income.
Right.
And then we're good. So it's been a lot of like little figuring out of things and like, and like, so I've been like slow on some projects as like people were reaching out as I was like kind of figuring this out. And it's like, sorry. We just like needed to pause and like figure some things out here.
Right.
Because whatever we were doing, like I tried it the other way. The problem is like, I mean, the milestone version of it or whatever, we can still do it. It's just like every milestone is coming in chunks of hours and like, you pay us for this. We do this much work. When we finish, do we want to continue? Yes or no? Do you want to continue? Yes or no? Do you want to continue? Yes or no?
Nice.
More or less. Because like people are just so willing to waste our time and like what is considered like a lot of money to like you or I maybe to a very large corporation. I almost said the one. It just like, I'm a fucking rounding error.
Right.
You know, and they just don't give a fuck. Like they'll just waste my time indefinitely. They just don't care.
Right. You were one of thousands of useless employees that week.
Yeah.
Like, he and 1,000 other people did nothing this week and we paid them all. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, $40,000, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Like the casting you just touched was $36,000.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I'm nothing to this process at all. And like, it's like, but now it should be a lot more like equitable, I guess you could say. They're just more seemingly people are much more motivated to like use the time wisely, and it also clears up the whole process.
That, and month to month how much time you've bought already. Like I would imagine it's much harder for you to overload your schedule because you know exactly how much time you have into this.
Right. And that is the biggest thing with the new version of Asana is because everything is going to be like much more uniform. Asana has like the workload aspect of it. So we can like really see what like, are we reaching capacity? Do we have capacity between Doug and I? Like,
right.
Like, are we getting to a point where we need to like bring somebody else on or like whatever, you know? Which if things keep moving the way they're going, because like it has been like I expected it to be better, but it's been like really good.
Significantly better.
Like significantly better, where it's like, we have like money. Like, and it's like sticking around. Like that's bizarre. It's not bizarre, but like the other aspect of it, like in terms of the cash is like none of the cash is allocated to like purchased goods. which is like when we had a bunch of money last year is because we got money in to like buy shit.
Right.
So we had like, we hung on to it as long as we could. And like
you were cash flowing, not making profit.
Correct. Yeah. And so like this is mostly all profit, and we're at like around like roughly 50-ish% margin or whatever,
That's
which is
killer.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, it's not bad. Like we're in a good spot. We're in a better spot. It doesn't feel that way. Like Justin has had to remind me like a couple times, like you're in a much, much better place than you were like at say like last November.
100%. Yeah.
But like, it's like one of those like first world problem aspects of like things are like everything else is good. So like this one fucking thing is like destroying my brain. Right. Like, and it is just like very like, yeah, I mean, I'm fucking fired up about that situation pretty hard, and like haven't quite figured out like where things are going. I kind of hate this because I'm like talking around it, and I don't normally do that, but it's like this, I just, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but I really like, I should have everything figured out. Like I have option A, option B, like that. I have two options right now currently. Like one of them, option A is what, I mean, obviously it's A. I want that one bad, but there's a lot more moving pieces, and like more or less as soon as it's like if option A has any hiccups at all, it's like we're fucking going option B, like no questions asked, like just do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now that is fucking that's the whole thing, baby. That's awesome. All the update.
That's great. I'm trying to think of where I was last time. I took some notes actually because I knew
you were just starting, like to dive into. So I think you were fairly recently back from maternity leave.
6 weeks, I think I've been back. Something like that.
And you were diving into shop projects.
Yes.
Hard.
So we did more of those.
Yeah.
You saw a bunch of them today, which was cool.
Really fucking cool.
Like lots of. It feels like we've really lived into the space more now. Like I'm much prouder of each room, and things are much more organized. I mean, I think that this is one of the few rooms left where I'm like, oh, I need to get like a shelving unit for all of my mics that are going out and start tracking all that stuff. But so we did a bunch of that. We've been still just so slammed. Like I really need another 5-axis bad. One thing I've started doing, and this is like, again, one of those like, well, no shit, you should have been doing this the whole time. But I've been starting to treat our laying stuff like I would a pallet system.
Right.
So like I was in the middle of a job and kind of just spinning my wheels. I was struggling against corner infusion, failing continuously, like taking 15, 20 minutes to calculate and then just failing and like the kernel crashing.
That's wild. I've never experienced that.
It was very frustrating.
Yeah.
Saw that part. I was just like, oh, it's in a link vise. I just pulled the part out mid roughing, threw on the next part that I already had programmed, started running that while I debugged that. And that's been really, really helpful.
Right.
We got that PH horn sawing system, started using that. That's been working really well. It's really nice because it's through spindle on the shank and then blows out onto the teeth.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've just been cleaning like crazy, organizing like crazy, really trying to nail the shop flow more. Because we've just been too busy to like let things sit anymore.
Right.
Sorted out our coolant cart. You saw that today as well.
Very impressive.
Thanks.
Like the dosatron stand that you designed and everything. And like, it's not even just that, right? Like, I mean, the stand for the dosatron is one thing, but also just like adding the fucking, the quick disconnects and like your quick disconnect into the stand so that it, the hose has a place to go. So it's not like dripping, and it's like, it's on magnets. So you could easily just lift it off and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh fuck, that's hot.
Thanks,
so hot.
I appreciate it. I need to make like a reel and show off. Because I like took like stories throughout the whole process, like, oh, I printed this mount and then printed this mount. And I need to put that together. But the thing that, so it has all those quick disconnects. It's great now. I don't have to worry about the hose falling off of stuff. It does lead to you walking away. And so I flooded a corner of the shop last week or early this week, one or the other. I was filling the Hermla. It was all the way down and low. I was like, okay, cool. I just need to put like a quarter in because I was just trying to finish the part I was working on.
Yeah.
We still have been trying to find the time to do a full coolant swap on the Hermla and clean everything out, and I just have not found the time yet.
Weren't they out here PMing it recently?
Yeah, that was all like the fingerprint and ball bar and all that stuff. But I was running a part while I was filling it, and I thought I heard a tool start breaking, and so I ran around to the front while I was filling. And I was like, okay, it's good, and started it running. And then I think at that moment someone called me, so I answered a call, and then was walking around talking to somebody, and then sat down at my computer and started programming something, and then went back over and I'm watching it run. I'm like, oh, looks good. And then I just hear Brad go, oh shit. And I look and like, dude, there's just the puddle starting to go out. I'm like, oh. So thankfully Freddie to the rescue. You know. Oh, well, I mean, we both, every time that anything like that happens, we're both just like, how did we get by? Because it would have been a shop vac plus a mop.
Right.
And you're just pushing around gallons of coolant for hours at that point. And like, this was a pretty big flood.
Yeah.
And it took me 30 minutes maybe to clean up the whole thing.
Freddie to the rescue, baby.
Yeah. So that was
fun.
Yeah, it is what it is.
How's your hypermill journey been?
Slow. We've been so busy. I haven't had enough time to be slow. And like, I know going to hypermill will make me slow.
Yeah.
So that's on my list to get done in the next week. Like, I just finished my install and like routing all of the files where they need to go. I need to prove out my post officially and be like, all right, that's locked down and good. And then I just need to start brute forcing it and just saying like, okay, next part has to run through hypermill.
Yeah.
I feel bad about taking so long, but also like I kind of knew that this was going to be a slow roll project.
Right.
Like I've been running Fusion for a decade.
Right.
And so like I knew that moving over to a new cam system was going to be a big lift.
Right.
So I'm still very resolute in my decision.
Yeah.
I have not felt bad about that, especially this last week. I've had more issues in Fusion than I think I've had it in the previous months.
Yeah.
It's just gotten worse.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it's not surprising it's slower. Like it is not like Fusion and Mastercam I would say they're very similar. Like I showed you today, like in 2025, like there are Mastercam has now added features that make it very Fusion like.
Yeah.
You know. And like they have very similar kind of like layouts ish, you know, with like the ribbon and everything. But when you get into like hypermill, it's like a totally different fucking animal altogether. Like the way that they name things and like the naming convention is very German, you know? And like when you do like step over for like, oh, what's the step over? It's like, well, it's this percentage of the diameter times whatever and blah, blah, blah. And like your feed rates are like macros or whatever. Like it's very powerful, but it's very like its own thing.
Yeah. And there's so many ways to do everything too. Like in the hypermill Discord, Brian had said something like, oh, well, you can do it this way. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but I don't know it. And I just like commented, I was like, says every hypermill programmer ever. Like,
right.
There's so many different ways and so many tips and tricks you can do to different stuff that like you're always, it seems like everybody is always like, well, you can do it this way. You can accomplish it this way, but there's also probably 10 other ways that I don't know how to do it. Like you can hack this toolpath to do it as well.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
I will also just for shits, like offer up Doug's time if you need it.
All right. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Because I think we're like basically we are officially like bringing it on as like a software. So like, I mean, he's had it kind of, you know, like how they have it, but like, I think we have dongles showing up on like Monday.
Sick.
Whatever. So, we just got to have it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just inevitable. So we have like 5 cam systems that we program in now.
Awesome.
It's kind of wild.
Keep on at it, man.
Yeah.
You got to get all 10, right?
I do like, there's the other two big ones I'd say that were missing are like NX and Gibbs. You know,
Yeah.
that would like be like big ones. Like you like in terms of what people actually use.
Right.
But none of like Gibbs especially is just not exciting. Like I have no desire to really do that one at all.
Yeah.
Like, we'll do it in something else.
So yeah, that's kind of how it's been going. Other thing that happened that was very, very frustrating was we had Hadco out. Like they've come out twice to the shop.
The aluminum company or the
material company. Yeah, they do a bunch of stuff. Talked a big game. I was like, listen, I don't really care about price, or at least it's not my main driver. Like I just need stuff next day. And they're like, oh, we stock almost everything in Phoenix. We cut it. You know, it can be down next day or the following day. Yada, yada, yada. I was like, okay, cool. I'll let you know when we've got an order that fits this. They started like bugging me, like calling me once a month. Like, oh, you know, we'd love to earn your work back. Because we ordered all of our tariff bonus stock from them.
Right.
And so they were like, oh, we haven't heard from you in a while. I'm like, yeah, I haven't used it yet. Like it's still my safety stock. Thanks.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was bugging me. And finally I was like, okay, fine. I do have a couple orders you can quote. And one of them was this 7075 order. And I had a couple days. I was like, all right, I've got 3-4 days before I need this material. Quoted it. It was like, looks good. Sounds, you know, please use the card on file. Didn't hear anything for a day and a half. Email him. I'm like, hey, did this order go in? Oh no, we forgot about it, or like I missed it. So then he sends me the link to pay for it. So I pay for it. And this was I thought I ordered it on a Monday.
Yeah.
I think I emailed him on a Wednesday. I paid for it Wednesday night. Monday rolls around and it's still not here. And I'm like, what's going on? He was like, oh, we're short staffed, so it isn't there. I'm like, So at this point, I just bought material from McMaster. I was like, fuck it, it'll be here on time and I can start this order. Tuesday rolls around, still nothing. Email him again. He's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to see if we can like maybe UPS it to get it to you, or it'll be on the Thursday truck. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
Okay. And it's like, none of this was like initiated from his end. Like I expressed to him very clearly when they were here, like lead time is everything with me.
Yeah.
Communication is everything with me. Not a single word from them. Had I not emailed him, I never would have known where my material was.
Yeah.
Oh, and the frustrating thing too is that when I bought the stuff from McMaster, I was like, can you cancel this? Like, I just don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, it's already been cut. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we have, needless to say, I have like a box of 75 now that like I guess it's bonus stock.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Sick. That's awesome.
That doesn't help me at all. Like they also, I've told them like a million times, don't show up before 9 a.m. And like every fucking time their driver shows up at like 7:30 or 8. And it's like, look at Google, look at anything I've told you.
I'm fucking open.
I'm not here.
Yeah.
Like this last time, but thankfully, like we just have the doorbells I can talk to them through. And so I'm like, hey, I'm going to unlock the door, put it inside and close the door behind you.
Yeah.
But fine.
Right. That's out of control.
Yeah.
Sounds like a shit experience.
It was like, it was so frustrating. And it's very frustrating because they were a third the price of what I ended up paying for McMaster material.
Right.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter if it's a week late.
Yeah. Right.
So
like, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. That was very frustrating. We had a surprise visit from Tucson Wastewater Management, which I thought they were like bullshit at first. Like I thought it was a scam.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand. And then they like show me their credentials and stuff. I'm like, okay, why are you here? And they're like, oh, well, you're registered as like an industry partner, or like an industrial business. And so we wanted to come and check and make sure that, you know, that you're treating your wastewater right, yada, yada, yada. And something. Okay. I wasn't that worried because we do it right.
Right.
But there's always that like fear of like, is there something I just don't know that I'm overlooking?
Right.
So they came through and, you know, looked at the bathrooms and looked at like the back sink and I showed them the coolant barrels and gave them the receipts for the people that we have come and pick that up and swap it out, and was like, oh yeah, we dump all of our floor cleaner water into these as well. Like all the oily water goes out with these.
Mhm.
And by the end of it, they were like, no, you're doing great. I guess the main part of the inspection was to see if there was anything we were doing that was federally regulated.
Oh, interesting.
Like anodize or plating or whatever.
Dumping like sulfuric acid down the drain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this isn't allowed?
Right.
Yeah.
So it all worked out. It was totally fine. We passed no problem, but it was like surprising.
Right.
It's like, oh, I guess, yeah, we are a business and,
Yeah.
we do deal with coolants and all that stuff. So, but
Yeah.
they seemed very happy with my answers. I think at least the shops I've seen, I'm sure we're doing it better than anybody else.
Yeah.
Certainly cleaner.
For sure.
So yeah, it worked out.
Sick.
And then
It's been cranking.
just been cranking.
Yeah.
Super, super busy trying to order another machine, get all that sorted out.
It's just like not fucking going. I guess you're dealing with like
Tariffs is just, it's screwing everybody over. Like
Yeah.
it's just a frustrating time to be a manufacturer.
Yeah.
It's almost like supporting manufacturing is not taxing manufacturing.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I've said I'm like that. I don't think this is a political thing. I think that like it's a
Right.
very obvious thing that
Yeah.
putting taxes on manufacturers, especially when there's no domestic alternative,
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
No. I mean,
So-
like one of the reasons like China is so effective is like they do the exact opposite of taxing. Like,
Right.
They like material is subsidized, like so much shit is subsidized. I mean, there's the other aspect of like they just don't have any regulation and they like don't care about their workers or whatever.
Right.
But like
And the military aspect of
Yeah.
like we're trying
Yeah.
to sink another country. But
right. But they're very good at it because like there are quite a few, like I've heard a few stories. I'm sure you've heard stories of people like, well, I want to onshore this product. And it's like, I can't buy the material for cheaper than you're getting the entire fucking part packaged, like complete and packaged.
Oh, I've lived that.
Yeah.
We quoted years ago when we were still just had the Kitamura. We had a guy that he was a broker, like he'd find work and give it to you and take a cut. And he gave us a job and I thought I quoted it super aggressively. It was all of these threaded bosses out of 12L14
Okay.
that the flags, when you're at like a job site or a mine or whatever, they screw into this and then this screws into your tow hitch or something.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, probably 2,000 or 5,000 of them. And I was like, I quoted it super aggressively and factored in like, okay, I'm just going to have to like buy another machine to make these and work it out like that. And he came back to me and he was like, they're getting them for 1/10 of what you quoted. And I was like, I can't buy material for that. I shopped around. I asked for the best price. Like I got the best price I possibly could and I cannot get material for that.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. So they're getting it from China.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Right. Yeah. You're just cooked.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fucked.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to support U.S. manufacturing, just start subsidizing stuff.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy, baby.
Like workers, training,
Yeah.
material, tooling, machines.
Training. Titan's got that covered.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we kind of have to touch on his most recent video a little bit.
Oh yeah. I am so down.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we both watched it and we're a little fired up.
I'm fired up for like a lot of reasons. Like,
Yeah.
Number one, the fucking I'm like upset with Matsura.
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna support him. Obviously, like I like the machines. They're still like for better or for worse, like at this moment, my favorite 5-axis. But like I'm so disappointed with the marketing agreement with Titan. It's like you didn't need this.
No.
I haven't talked to anybody. I mean, maybe somebody will reach out to me after this and be like, no, I am happy about this. But so far I haven't talked to a single Matsura owner who was like, yeah, this is so cool.
Right.
Like, but it's like a lot of like cheapens the brand. It sounds like a lot of customers and dealers reached out to fucking Matt Sur and was like, don't fucking do this. And they still did it anyway. And it's like, why did you do this?
Yeah.
Like, what does it gain? And it is so unclear that they are, whether or not they're distributing. Everybody says they're not, but from fucking Titan and the videos that they're putting out, it definitely makes it seem like they're distributing. And I have not got a clear answer. And in that same video of like the whole Haas, oh, Doosan, this is why he didn't fucking mention Selway at all. The fact that Bill propped his bitch ass up, and like the only reason that they're around is because of fucking Bill Selway and Haas propping their ass up. Oh, I respect loyalty. Do you? Like,
right.
What about Makino? What about DMG? What about Heller? What about Abarmia? What about fucking Robodrill? Where's the separation of those?
Right.
I'm assuming that there's still active NDAs and that's why they can't talk about it.
It's the whole thing for me, it was wild for him to 1 second say like, I don't want to burn any bridges. I don't want to talk shit about anybody. And then literally the next breath, talk shit and tell stories disparaging his past sponsors.
He took credit for fucking the Haas tip of the day.
Yeah, I know.
Are you kidding me, man?
But I just don't know where this ends. Like, I don't know how many brands can you burn through. Like, all of a sudden, YCM was in the picture. Like, that was the first mention of them that I had seen. And I will say, like, I will separate right now because I know I have a lot of people reach out after and they're like, well, where else should I go for fusion training or master camp? Like, the actual training content he's put out is some of the best in the industry, and it's free and it's great. Like the Titan building blocks are fantastic. You can buy all the fixturing pieces. You can buy all the tools. All that stuff is fantastic. And if he was just doing that and stayed in his lane for that,
right?
I mean, I might still like snicker here and there when like it feels a little American choppery, but like I wouldn't have that visceral reaction of like, this is just bullshit.
Right.
Like that's what bothers me.
It is. Because that is good. And like no one's taking that away from that. That's good.
Yeah.
But like he didn't do that. Probably. Like maybe he did it himself. Who knows? But like it doesn't fucking seem like it. It seems like he's an entertainer first and foremost, and then everything else after that.
Yeah. Because like that stuff is fantastic. I will give him 100% full props for that. I think that stuff makes the industry better. Like 100% appreciate it. It's what I send people to when they come to me and ask me for fusion stuff. So divorced
from, because it like even the tone and everything is just so divorced from the videos of like just push hard, push hard, push hard. We're just showing what the capabilities of machines are. It's like, but not really.
Right.
Because you can't cut like that and make real parts. I mean, maybe you can, but like, I don't know. Show me a real fucking part.
Right.
I don't like, why is that so hard?
Yeah. Show me a real train. Like they were starting to do that with videos more with Donnie.
Right.
All of the Swiss stuff, again, I can lump into that. Like this is actual training. Yes, it shows off the Tornos. Great. But like, it was also like, hey, look at how easy I can set this up. Look at how to set up this tool in a Swiss. Like,
and it was all, I mean, like, given the fact that Donnie left and his content is exactly the fucking same, it's like, that's not a Titan thing.
Right.
That was a Donnie
That's a Donnie thing. Yeah.
So, like, it is with all of that, like in the media production, I mean, like his production quality hasn't dropped like at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane.
I don't know if he brought that to the job or if he just learned from the media machine and then was like, oh, I can do this when I leave. Like, this is great.
Right. And like, he's still putting out like the same, I mean, like, honestly, like, seems like the content's better now.
Well, it's not locked to one machine tool at least. Yeah.
And he's doing mill stuff and whatever else and like macro stuff. It's like fucking good shit.
Yeah.
But again, that's a Donnie thing, not a Titan thing.
Yeah.
Which is like very interesting.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, that video was just frustrating. Yeah. Like at the end, I don't even know if I have the ability to be mad about it. I'm just like, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't really understand what the point of it was. Like, it doesn't make him look good at all. Like,
no,
it's like, you're going to fucking get on there and like cry about what? They didn't give you enough free shit.
I mean, it felt like
Okay.
somebody speaking to friends and being like, oh, I'm not going to bad talk my ex-girlfriend. I mean, she's kind of a bitch, but like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to say anything bad about her. I mean,
Yeah.
she's like a horrible cook, but like, I'm never going to say anything
Yeah.
bad about her.
Yeah, exactly. It's just very bizarre.
Yeah.
And like unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because it's like that I mean, it also feels like the person who's like, I'm a good guy. You know? And it's like, why are you telling me this?
Right.
Like I
Be a
wasn't
good guy then.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't questioning it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, now I am. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move past that.
I crashed out enough about it.
Yeah. But we'll see how much of that makes it into the official edit and how much is maybe a Patreon exclusive.
Just fucking put it on.
All right. From the Patreon, Spike asked, he says, as a high school metal shop teacher, I'm always thinking about how to best prepare my students for their futures. If you were teaching metal shop in high school, what would you include in the curriculum? What would you leave out? Any must-do projects or skills that you think every student should walk away with? If you could go back and visit yourself in high school shop class, what advice would you give?
That's interesting. I didn't take shop in high school, so
I didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah.
I had to take theater productions because my school, that was the only class I could take that built stuff.
I think we had shop. I just wasn't interested in it at the time.
Right.
Or we had like an automotive thing or whatever. I don't know. Either way, I didn't do it. That's a really good question. I mean, like, I still would kind of encourage fusion, at least from a design aspect, like a design and build type of thing. Like I think like art to part is like, I think that would be very engaging for kids to be able to like use software and then turn it into something real. I think we've talked about this, is just being able to like physically hold something that you designed is so huge. So that would be a big thing. I don't know if like, I mean, obviously we don't know anything about what the shop looks like,
right? But
that's one thing. From a career, like deburring, very important.
Yeah.
And this,
I would say measuring too.
And measuring, yeah.
Like go like not only go over, but like make that a through line through the entire year of like learning how to use a mic, a caliper,
right,
basic hand tools. Because if they leave there and go to any job interview,
right,
and somebody like already knows how to measure stuff and understands what a thou is, and
yeah,
like that's, I think, gives them such a leg up.
Right. Yes, I like that. Yeah, measure stuff, deburr stuff, cleanliness. I mean, that's kind of like a given, but like not a given at the same time, is like just being like very courteous of like tools and everything is kind of huge and probably like a necessary just general life skill, you know?
Right.
I mean, that carries through like any fucking job.
Yeah.
Being like very clean and organized. Yeah. Huh.
I can't think of anything that I would explicitly leave out.
Yeah. What would you leave out? Like, it's also relevant. Yeah, I mean, like, and
grinding drills by hand. I would leave that out.
Yeah.
Like, it's maybe a cool skill, but like that was, I'm just thinking back to like my first classes in college.
That is a very good point, is like, yeah, we did have to do that. Grinding drills by hand, or like reading a lathe tool by hand. And it's like,
yeah,
who cares? Like, you just don't have, that's just like not something you need to know how to do anymore.
I mean, I think it's like a cool skill. Like if you have it and shit really hits the fan, cool, you can do that. But like I have never ground a drill in my shop.
Never.
I've never ground a manual bit in my shop. Maybe once.
Yeah.
Maybe once.
I've only ever done it in the class.
Yeah.
Like fucking 18 years ago now.
Right.
Like so long ago.
Yeah.
Like I just never needed to do it.
Well, I think the industry is just changing to the point where most of the time very often you're using carbide drills now.
Yeah.
You're not going to go hand grind those.
Right.
If you're not, you're using high speed steel, and your time usually is better spent just in another one.
They're so cheap.
Yeah.
Like there's some drills that like when you can't buy one.
Right.
It's coming in a pack of 10.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like $10.
Right.
So it's like, whatever, just buy more. Oh, here's another one. I mean, which is kind of obvious, but like fucking ear protection.
Yes.
I mean, eye protection too, whatever, but like specifically ear protection. Because like, I mean, when you're young, I was like this. It's like I'm fine.
Right.
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
But now it's like, especially as I go and I work with more older people, and like they're fucking in my face screaming at me, and like they can't hear a word that I'm saying, and like they're screaming at me because that's their normal talking level. It's like I always wear ear protection now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like,
you heard my old neighbor at my shop.
That guy was yelling.
Yes.
And that was just like how he talks.
That was his normal speaking voice, like was full blown screaming at you. Like we could hear him through the walls every single day. Like he would be having a phone conversation with a customer of his, and I could hear every single word he said.
Right.
So he was a prime example of like wear your ear protection.
You're a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I realized that that's like not a lesson, but I feel like those are the things that will stick with your kids if you like really hammer home like eye pro and ear pro.
Yeah.
Cleanliness. Those are the habits that they need to have that will make this successful.
And they're so young.
Yeah.
It's a good one to build like right fucking now.
Yeah.
Because like that's a good skill to have regardless of if you are a metal worker or not.
Yep.
Everything else is kind of like very specific to the trade, but like those things is like just take care of your stuff and be clean about it.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right. Tux Garage asked, when you get a new machine, how do you prep its install location? Run power, air, additional wall outlets, anything else that you plan for that isn't normally thought about? Water hookup? ?
Interesting. I mean, the water hookup is a fascinating one because like we thought about it in the shop, but like it's also so small. Like where all of our shit is like so small, so we don't like need it. But it's nice.
Yeah.
Like, but like there's a lot of shit that goes into this. This also kind of I kind of want to wrap Kurt's question into this too.
Okay.
Which is like best shop layout. Let me fucking find it and read it.
So while you're looking that up, I'll share one thing. I haven't played with it yet, but Travis from Alien Tools was showing me that you can, like, I've talked about it on here in the past where I've created the shop layout in Fusion and then viewed it AR on an iPhone because you can export whatever the 3D file is from Fusion that shows up in AR on the iPhone. He was showing me that you can bring things into Blender, and Blender has a VR mode with like a Quest 3 or any of the Meta stuff, or I think any 3D, any VR headset. So you can walk through a building in VR. And so that's something I'm going to build out is because I think Blender's free, if I remember right.
No shit.
Or at least I'll have to check. But I think that's a giant thing when planning in modern day. Like there's no reason to not use these technologies.
Right.
If you don't have a headset, use the AR on an iPhone. Somebody will have an iPhone or an iPad.
Yeah.
Makes it super easy to walk the floor real quick and just be like, oh man, that's going to be a pitch point. Like that was for our last shop. That was insanely useful.
Right.
I mean, you saw how crammed it was.
Yeah.
And like, had I not laid out the machines and been like, oh, okay, this layout works better than this layout. Like there's enough room to put whatever here. Blender is free, it looks like.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then Curtis Wolfinger's question that's kind of similar is, what's a good generic floor plan layout so a new shop can plan ahead and be efficient? So kind of same, but not.
Yeah, I would say like, so for a new machine, like Tuck was asking, I typically run power to it close by, but I don't finish the last little run of the flexible line because as good as your model is, as good as your planning is, you're always going to need a little bit of flex, and you're always going to need to be a little bit extra. We right now in our new shop run air to where the machine is going to be, and then that is also what carries over power from the wall. Like we run a extension cord along that wire or that pipe.
Yeah.
Wall outlets, I mean, I guess if you need them, like if you know you need them, then definitely do it. But typically, we've always had a wall outlet close enough.
That only becomes a problem in like big shops.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if you own your own shop area, then sure, just add wall outlets. Why not? Like you're going to want a computer, you're going to want whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, the fucking, there's a 110 receptacle like at the mine. They just put it like they ran the line through the machine. It's like it's like attached to the front, and they like ran it through it.
No way.
Yeah, very wild. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, good for them, I guess. And then as far as like a generic layout, I typically I would say one big consideration is to try to lay things out so that as machines leave, you have space to. Like that is one thing as we look towards a flex or whatever automated 5-axis we're getting next. I'm going to be moving the C250 from the back corner where it is to much closer to the bay doors because that is much more likely to leave first than the automated HS Flex.
Yeah.
Or the DMU or whatever it ends up being.
Don't want to be playing like musical machines every time you have to like do stuff because like that gets crazy expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, it depends on how much you're trying to optimize space, but like you would typically want to look up minimums to the wall and then add extra to that as much as you feel comfortable.
Yeah. I'm like, it's kind of like a really interesting like thought experiment because it's an almost impossible question to answer because like no shop space is the same. You know, like you have like really weird like L-shaped ones or just giant boxes or like oh, this is like the shop that we had in Utah was like just a very nice rectangle with like a tiny little office. It was very like malleable, you know, but the like X2 shop or shops or whatever in Utah were like long, skinny. So like you had to like really think about where you put stuff because like you can only basically put machines against one wall because if you put them on both walls, now like you said, you have a pinch point.
Yep.
Like, and it's very like that kind of like the type of work that you do. You would almost have to like break it into like if you were thinking about it like a container method style of thinking,
right?
Of like and like templates of like what is the shop like flow or what is the shop shape, and that would really affect your template, but also like the type of work that you're doing really like affects your flow and how you would like build your cells and things like that. It's I don't know. I like the question. I don't know how to answer it, but I like it.
I think that you've seen The Founder, right? About the McDonald's guy, Ray Kroc.
Yeah.
I think that what they do there on the tennis courts where they draw out all of their stuff and then go through their operations. I think that that's another way. If you don't have, you know, if you don't have your shop in Fusion, do that then. Like, you know, put the painter's tape down on the floor where you think the machines are going, box out your tables, box out where your tools are going to go, and just like walk the floor. Be like, okay, I need to go build a tool. Oh man, that's a really long walk to go build a tool. Maybe I should build the tool crib closer to the machines or in a cell with the machines or. And
at the end of the day, like, I mean, like you're experiencing here is you moved in with one vision, and as you work in it and you live in it and like you get closer to it, it just changes. You've made quite like not a huge move, but like, because I mean the machines are where the machines are, but like shelves have moved like big space, like big location changes kind of, and like you're like routing things through walls and whatever to like clean up your spot is like, and you just don't think about that until you live in it.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing is when you're putting machines in, take a beat with the riggers. Like they charge by the hour, not by the minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it is by the minute, but like you get what I'm saying, like
yes,
have them put a machine down or like keep it in a spot on the forklift and just like step back and look for a second.
Right.
Like that's what we've done now with every move. And we've ended up shifting things a few feet here and there and be like, oh, actually, I want a little bit more to the wall because I want to be able to pull this tank out. Or, oh, I want the machine's this little bit closer because I don't need that much space between them. And like they'll do that.
Yeah.
You're paying for them.
They want you to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, because they want you to use them again. They're not going to be like, fuck you, I'm putting the machine where you told me to. Like, you've seen them, like, they'll take the time to, like, make sure it's square to the wall. Sometimes, like, even if you don't ask them to do it, they'll just fucking do it.
Yeah, our guys, they literally would, like, look down the line of machines and be like, no, you need to scoot up 1 inch. All right, drop it there. Now you're in line with all the other ones. Like, all right, guys, appreciate it. They would always be like, oh, yeah, I think we're square to the wall within an 1/8 inch. And I'm like, so you're like 4 times better than I would have cared.
Yeah.
Like you could have been an inch off and I wouldn't have known or cared.
Right.
And they're like, well, an 1/8 inch is acceptable, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah. Child's play, baby.
Yeah. Tuck's other question was, besides a Freddy vacuum, what's the best oil skimming method or product you use?
I like the coalescers.
Yeah, the next gen Abernaki's a clone of that.
Yeah, the Skim Ray is also a clone of that.
Yeah,
and like it's expensive. I mean, I think the Skim Ray is like $650 or something like that.
I think the next gen's very similar in price.
And I mean, they work really, really well.
Yep.
I would say, like,
I will say the hoses eventually kink.
Sure.
The outflow hose.
Yeah.
Which then leads them to overflow the top.
Yeah.
Or I've had hoses come off of the pump or the other side of the pump hose and start shooting everywhere. So the thing I fully recommend them.
Yeah.
But I would say get some sort of sensor system you can buy on Amazon for like 50 extra bucks. A little spill sensor that goes on the floor that has a cord that goes all the way to the outlet where you plug in the thing and it just turns it off.
I like that.
Because I've had both in my shop and at past jobs, you come in the next morning and there's like 5 gallons worth of coolant on the ground.
Like, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so annoying.
Yep. But I still think that those are better. I like them better than the belt skimmers and the disc skimmers. I think that they do a better job and they do a much better job of circulating coolant in addition to cleaning them.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Is that it aerates and keeps it moving.
Yeah.
Where the other ones because it's a pump, it's like pulling shit to it. You know, it doesn't kind of like just like grab it passively as it like comes by.
Yeah. And you can use the outflow tube and snake it to where you want in the coolant tank. I mean, within reason, and create kind of a circulating motion, which is great.
Yeah. Kevin used it in an interesting way, which is he drilled into his machine and used it as like a wash down.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it dumps into the machine envelope or enclosure.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
That's the other thing. Yeah, I know, right? Still earlier than we've ever recorded, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, we just started like very tired for some reason.
That's another tip with those is if you can, and you can't always, but if you can mount them above your coolant tank, I find that to be better so that if they do start leaking out of one of the hose connections, it just kind of like filters its way back into the coolant tank versus all over your floor.
Yeah.
But I still recommend them. I really like them and I think they work well. They're kind of a pain to clean when you need to clean the filter media or whatever. But
so what we're doing like with the mine guys is like skim off the oil, like do it like once a week or as needed. And then every 6 months, because that's what our contract is or whatever, we'll just like as part of the PM of the dump and recharge, just take it out and clean it then.
Smart.
Do the full clean at the same time.
Yeah.
And like every 6 months dump and recharge is kind of wild, but it also is like very warranted for that type of situation.
Seeing how nasty that was, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Last question. This one from Instagram. Ash says, what do the higher end machines get you, like a Matsura or a Hermla, that you don't get with, say, a Haas or a similarly more affordable machine? Is it really worth the premium? What brands can you recommend for a one-guy job shop that can be wellish funded and operated part-time, as he has a full-time job at the moment?
I would say, like, the answer the question, is it worth it, is like entirely up to the type of work that you're doing.
Yeah.
Because like I would say like your the expected tolerance band off of the machine is much tighter on a Hermel or a Matsura. Where like for instance, I mean, I would say your Haas, your UMC versus or is like say plus or minus 5 all fucking day. It's gonna blend okay, you know. It's not gonna be like your spindle's gonna grow for sure. Like it's gonna fluctuate wildly. But like if you're in that plus or minus 5 range and you don't really need like crazy blending as you like do the ABC stuff, it's fine.
Who cares?
Like it doesn't matter. Like a guy like
well, there's like a ton of work out there that's plus or minus 10.
Right.
And it's like and bread and butter.
I would say, I mean, I've been talking to Garrett Wade a lot, and like he is doing God's work, like with the shit that he's getting off the UMC 1000.
I cannot believe what he can do.
He is the ultimate. It's the archer, not the arrow.
Yes.
You know, is because like there are people who we've talked to and like who like exist out in the world who are like, Haas can't make whatever, can't do this, can't do that. And it's like you're producing better parts than people do on like Hermelas and Kerns and Matsuras or whatever.
Right.
Like on a UMC 1000, which is the worst fucking machine for that type of shit. It is so like, I mean, we had one at South Bay.
Right.
And it was right next to a roll up door. And that thing.
Oh, so you really shot it in the foot.
The most fucked situation for that thing. And you just see it's like, what's happening? It's like, dog, look at this thing.
You're like, it grew 5,000.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. It's like, this isn't surprising. So like is it worth it is entirely like, again, it's entirely dependent on the types of parts that you're doing. If you want to get into like really high end shit, like, and you don't want to like really think about it, like they're much better machines for that. That being said, like if you suck at machining, like,
you're going to continue to suck. You're going
to spend a lot of fucking money to suck.
Yeah.
Which is like, sorry.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think it's worth the premium if what you're after is what they do well. Like our Hermela, you know, with pretty frequent, or not pretty frequent, like, I don't know, once every 2 or 3 weeks, kinematic calibration, I hit 10 micron pretty easily, like without any comp, straight out the gate, just using the laser to touch off tools. Yeah. And this is like at opposing 90s, or like a 5-axis op to surface one side and then a 3-axis cut on one side, and it's within 5 or 10 microns. Yeah. Like easy. But again, I need that. You might not need that. If you're making plus or minus 10 stuff, why worry about it? Like if you're doing 3+2 stuff and poking holes and pretty easy stuff, like you're spending a lot of money to spend a lot of money.
You are, I mean, we've definitely touched on this, and like I know like Tim has talked about this, Tim Paul. That it's like you the part only gets so good.
Right.
You know? So like if your part is plus or minus 10 and you're consistently holding like 1 thou, like cool. Yeah. That's a very nice thing for you to do for your customer, but it's not a requirement. And like you like your customer is not going to pay you more money because you make their inaccurate part more accurate. Like, right. Like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of the other thing to think about is like, you can, if they're asking for like a 125 plus or minus 10 part and you give them like a plus or minus 1 piece of jewelry, they're like, cool. Yeah. We're not like, we don't need this. So like, can you like, I mean, you've experienced this, is like, can you make it shittier?
Right.
Like, wait, what? Like we don't need it this nice. Yeah. Like, and I don't want to pay for it to be this nice.
Well,
so
especially like
worse.
There's so much work out there going to like oil fields and construction and all of that. It's like they genuinely do. They're gonna run that thing over and destroy any finish you put on it. Yeah. Like, okay, cool. As far as a brand that a well-ish funded part-time shop should buy, let's assume that he wants higher end tolerances.
It is I mean, I'm gonna go with, even though I'm mad at them, I'd still say Matsura.
Right. Maybe like a used Matsura.
Yeah. Like I don't know what wellish funded means, but like Matsuras are nice. Like trying to think if there's any like decent like
I have heard good things about YCM.
Yeah,
again,
are
not
okay.
you know.
Like they're okay. I'd probably go like a Washion D2 is a pretty affordable machine, and like it's Korean. They're built like brick shit houses, like not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know about anything else. Like the Methods machines are pretty good.
I have heard pretty decent things about them.
MB650U and the MB450. Like I've put my hands on those, and I put my hands on a D2. I haven't really touched a YCM 5-axis, but it's probably very similar to the MB650U. Like they're both Taiwanese machines. I imagine like people like YCM's claiming, yeah, we cast all our own shit, blah blah blah. Like
right.
You look at the fucking like Gen Mill MB650U, the fucking YCM, pick some other Taiwanese brand. They all look identical.
I would imagine, yeah, speaking of that, like I feel like a Quasar might not be a bad choice there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Quasar. They're the ones who build the Matsura VX1000, or at least they did.
Yeah.
I assume they still do.
It's not the fucking StepTech. It's the StepTech is.
That's Micron.
Micron. Yeah. It's the Maxia spindle. They put the Maxia spindles in those things, and those are good spindles.
Yeah.
And like very affordable machines. I'm fucking blanking on one. I don't know, but like, yeah, I would say like look at a Taiwanese machine, like or a Korean machine.
Yeah,
like Washion's Korean; those are good.
Or a few years old Matsura. Like if you can find a lightly used MX, sure, like that might be a good way into one.
They go, I mean, like, and anymore, I mean, like they're fairly, I mean, like. Again, affordable is kind of like subjective.
Right.
It's like
without a budget, we don't really know where to shoot.
Like PC, like a MX330 PC10 with like high pressure coolant and a probing package is like $450.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Right.
Like that's pretty good for automation and like 90 tools and 20,000 RPM and whatever. Like it's a good package for what it is.
Yeah.
And like you can do a lot of shit with that machine.
Totally. Yeah. All right, man. I don't think we have anything for shop news and new things, right?
No. Oh, Easton did ask me what my favorite shop in Wisconsin was, and I guess I'll say Moria.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into then the last questions. What's a cam metrology or business tip or trick that you helped you this week?
I mean, the business, like I really haven't done, I don't even think I've really been in cam. Like I was telling you earlier, like with the way that the business has been set up recently, like I haven't been doing a ton of programming and like I've been handling basically like, I mean, I have obviously been handling 100% of the on-site work, and Doug's been handling all the programming, which has been a sick, like separation instead of me doing everything. And so like the one business thing, so like I don't have anything cam wise or metrology wise. Like my thing really right now, I would say is just kind of like, I think the last one I said, get all the money up front, and this one, it's like transparent pricing has been very,
helpful. Yeah.
It reduces a lot of friction into things, and like whatever, like the cut, and like having tiers of things allows the customer to like really, be like, well, like we think this, what do you think? And it's like, yeah, sure, we can make it work. And like, and it's like, well, we'll give it a shot and we'll see, and like, and continue on past that. And the customer outside of Pittsburgh said it in a way that I really liked, which was, he's like, we'll buy 50 hours and we'll dance, and if we and he's like, and if we dance well, then we'll date. And if we date well, then we'll get married, and it's just like, and it's just a very good way of saying like they can buy in with like fairly like little friction and like not a ton of commitment to like what we had before. and really just like build a relationship without investing a ton of money to us or like whatever. And it's been, just having like everything laid out, which is like one of those things. Like, it's just like, I should have obviously been doing this the whole fucking time, but whatever, here we are.
Yeah. I mean, everything in hindsight is like that.
Yeah. It took a lot of times getting just like absolutely fucking wrecked by customers to, and obviously it's my own fault because I just like, I wrote all the contracts to allow them to do that, thinking people wouldn't fuck me over or whatever.
Let's see. Oh, I've got a couple. So one shop project that I forgot to talk about, and this is kind of a metrology-ish tip or trick. We re-hosed our CMM.
Right.
Massive pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Would not recommend, but it runs much better.
Cool.
Now. It like leaks much less air.
Yeah.
I think that the old hose, despite not having like an overt leak, was just like microporous throughout the entire thing and just leaking air everywhere. So I guess the tip is like, do it if you have to, or if you have an old CMM. It really sucked. Yeah. Alrighty, man. What have you been researching this week?
What have I been researching? It's been a lot of Asana stuff this week, and mostly looking at stuff for the truck to get it legal again.
Okay.
So that's kind of it. But Asana is the big business one, and like it does a lot of shit that I want it to do. But this was a funny one because like when I was driving down here, I was talking to Justin, and I was like, there's just no fucking project management software that I found that does exactly like that does what I want it to do. And he's like, replace project management with ERP. And it's like, he's like, that's why so many people roll their own.
Yep.
And it's like, because this new way that I'm doing it, I like it and I really want to do that. But there's no, like, Asana doesn't have a native feature to be able to copy the whole team over and like template the team. So it's like, fuck me. So like right now it's just very manual process. And like Justin's like, I think he was like, as I was driving, he was like looking at the API and he's like, I think we could probably do what you want to do pretty quickly. All right, cool.
Oh boy. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have been researching water shutoff sensor devices. The second it happened, I was talking to Amish and he was like, didn't you already have this problem and you were supposed to have solved it? Yeah. He's like, here's what I use. And I think I mean, I want a whole system like that. But again, I think until we run PECs for the machines, I don't want to like half-ass a system and then, a half-ass system that works ends up becoming a permanent solution.
Right.
So what I did is I bought from Hoffman, someone who listens to the podcast or follows me on Instagram, and I could not find their name before this.
Yeah.
They know who they are. Thank you so much for sending it. But Hoffman sells from Ariana an overflow protection device that I think it magnets or screws to the side of your tank and you set a float or like a little sensor wherever you want it to be. And then it like runs on 9 volts and beeps incessantly and flashes whenever you get to that level. And so like, is it a foolproof system? No, but it was a $200 fix that if it works, it is a good enough system until we redo and do the PECs. Like this is not going to prevent me from doing that.
Right.
Whereas like if I have a water system that senses stuff and works mostly, but with my hose, then that might be enough to like that will create enough friction where I will not want to do the PECs.
Yeah.
So I've been looking into that quite a bit. We bought one of those. I will let people know how it is. The other thing I've been kind of getting back into is watches again, like mechanical watches. Okay. So I've been trying to find like small projects I can do with that. And so I found an older Seiko that you can buy, and then it has like one of their shittier movements and you can swap it out for one of their newer movements.
Fun.
So it's like a watchmaker light project. Like there's very little actual watchmaking in it.
Right.
You have to like trim the stem on the new stem and like kind of swap a few parts over from one movement to the other. But I think it's enough to like scratch that itch for now.
Okay.
So that I'm looking forward to kind of playing around with that and just having some fun.
Cool.
And it's cheap enough that it's like I'm not,
yeah,
I'm not buying a $6,000 or $10,000 Rolex to like fuck with. Like it's like I can spend a couple $100 to have some fun.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's about it though.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for coming down and hanging out. It was really nice that you got to meet Katie and Molly for the first time.
Right. Yeah.
That
was funny.
Yeah. I was really happy that you guys got to meet finally. Yeah. I felt Katie was always like, why are you hiding me from Chris? I'm like, it's just not working. Like he shows up at like 10 p.m. for us to record. Are you really going to drive all the way down to meet him?
Yeah.
So that was really special. And I really appreciate that. And it was great to hang out with you. Yeah. Thanks to all the Patreon members who make the show possible. And I will see you next week.